And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Betrayal Combat. And today we're going to be talking about TankDavis telling Jake Paul this is scripted and you going off script. What does that mean? Before anything, let's play the clip.
Show out and someone's getting put to sleep.
This is really scripted. Like you really going off of something, huh? You see how he just threw that out there, Floyd, so I could just, y'all might not catch it, but right, okay.
What did you say? What did you say? I don't
Nothing.
know.
She said we caught it, so we on the same page.
And that's TankDavis telling Jake Paul he's going off script. Off script. Damn. Is this TankDavis exposing Jake Paul? Exposing the event? Because TankDavis is not giving Jake Paul the energy that he's looking for. Jake Paul wants this to be an explosive, back and forth, nasty press conference lead up to the fight. He wants that type of energy. Tank is not giving it to him. He's like, I'm here for the money, and I don't care about nothing else. This is strictly business. I don't know how I feel about that. Is this TankDavis just saying, well, you're going off script during the conference? But I'm not sure if he's trying to say that he's going off script in the whole plans. Is there a script for the fight? If there's a script for the conference, then you would think there's a script for the fight. And this is not a real fight. It's an exhibition fight. So there's no winner or loser. So there might be a script for the fight. Why might there be a script for the fight? Well, Jake Paul don't want to lose money, lose fans, lose business. TankDavis, he don't want to lose because he's a world-class boxer. He's undefeated in the sport of boxing. So why would he want to get his first loss to a guy who's not even a professional boxer? So both sides don't want to lose, but that's the whole point of the sport of boxing. There's only one winner. Jake Paul, these allegations of him, faking fights, setting up fights being scripted, I don't believe none of that. Did he take it easy on Mike Tyson? Yeah, I think he could have went out there and just ran over Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is a senior citizen. Yeah, I think Jake Paul could have just bulldozed him, and that's it. I think he took it easy. He threw some hard shots at Mike Tyson, and Tyson stumbled. But, Jake Paul didn't just go all out. And that's the only fight I could say that Jake Paul held back. In the other fights, Jake Paul fought. He performed. When he lost to Tommy Fury, that was a real loss. Tommy Fury won. I mean, I won't feed into those type of allegations of this being fake, the fights being fake. I don't think you could fake a knockout, like the type of knockouts Jake Paul be getting. But the whole event around it, like the way they hype it up, the pushing, the the things that they say in the press conference, that might be scripted. Well, yes, it is scripted because Tank said it. It's scripted. He told Jake Paul, you're not supposed to be saying this. And I think Jake Paul brought up Floyd Mayweather to amp up, Tank. The same way when TankDavis was arguing with that one fan, Jake Paul tried to talk trash to Tank Davis at that moment to try to get his attention to him, to get that anger, to get Tank's anger away from the fan and towards Jake himself, but that didn't work. Tank refused to give that energy to Jake Paul.
Yeah, you're boring as fuck, man. My whole family was texting me. I just want to apologize to the audience for this guy.
Talk.
Like,
I'm not
always
a talker.
the one that has to sell
You
the
talk.
fights. My whole family
I
texting
kick
me.
ass for real.
God
What you
damn.
do? You just play around like, this regular.
That's what people want, brother. It's entertainment.
And it's a respect level, Tank Davis is not going to respect a Jake Paul. Jake Paul didn't do much for the sport of boxing. Yes, he has brought eyes, money, and all that, but as in climbing up the ranks, trying to get into tournaments and all that stuff, no, Jake Paul didn't need to do none of that. So obviously, Tank Davis is not going to respect Jake Paul. Therefore, he's not going to give him an exciting press conference, an exciting show, because this is not Tank Davis' show. When Tank Davis is headlining his show, he wants people to come out for him. This is like Tank and Jake Paul both headlining the event. Jake Paul is talking his trash like, yeah, I'm number one in boxing, as in pay-per-views. I bring in the most eyes, the most money. So Tank Davis is like, all right, so you got it then. You promote it. You do everything. But like, in reality, Gervonta is the one who leads in pay-per-view sales and brings in the most fans in professional boxing. Jake Paul is backed by Netflix and different sponsorships and broadcasts. Tank Davis didn't need none of that to get those high pay-per-view numbers. I found it interesting. I think that the event is scripted. I think we all knew that. I don't think the fights are scripted, but because this fight specifically is an exhibition, we're not going to get a winner. We're not going to get a loser. There's no results. So maybe this fight could be scripted, but I don't know. I don't think Tank Davis will allow something like that to be, for the fight to actually be scripted. Maybe everything else could be scripted, but putting hands on you, nah, it can't be scripted, my boy. I don't know. I will definitely be keeping an eye on this event, on all the news that comes out on the event. I'm excited for this fight. Definitely excited for this fight. Excited to see how Gervonta performs. And I'm excited on how Jake Paul performs, their game plans and everything else. But that's all I got for you. Don't forget to drop a like, a subscribe, a comment, a share, do all that good stuff for me. Until next time.